Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for coming by. I was reminded this morning of how much I like to check things off my list to do. Um, very, I'm completing my certification for yoga therapist and very scheduled right now. And so I'm loving that I was able to check some things off this morning on my to-do list. So I gotta remind myself not to get too caught up in that to-do list, but everything's running along pretty smoothly. And I just was reminded of how much I like checking those things off and checking on myself. So just want to thank you so much for being here for Zenful Conversations. We are here in this community every single day, and we are in year 6, and that is truly because of your support. So thank you so much for keeping this community alive and well, and just thank you all for your support. I wanted to give a mention that today, this is Thursday, August 1st. Today, Thursday, August 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have a free conversation with poet Sapphire Rose. This is her new book, Awakening, Poems of Light on the Path of Love. And Sapphire is most well known for her poem, She Let Go, which is in here. And Uh, I'm going to ask her to share this with us, this poem. But this poem circulated the internet a while back, and it was just so powerful, very impactful and profound to me. It inspired me to create an entire workshop for women about this letting go, and I read this in the workshop as one of the poems during the time. But I am very much looking forward to this conversation, and I hope you join. So this is at 4 p.m. Eastern today, August 1st. It's via Zoom, and there's no charge. You just need to go to zenfulconversations.com and sign up for the Zoom link. It's a free offering. You'll get the Zoom link emailed to or texted to you. It sends you a text reminder and stuff when you sign up there. So the conversations are no charge, and you're welcome to ask questions, comment. If you just want to have some conversation, that's great. If you just want to come by and listen, that's great. And if you're unable to make the live stream event, you'll get the replay link tomorrow. Maybe sometimes I send it out later today, but generally it's tomorrow, the day after, the day following the conversation. But you do need to sign up. So I have your email address, and that is at zenfulconversations.com. The conversation we're having this year is about awakening. So look at this. Awakening, awakening, awakening. The Book of Awakening by Mark NEPO is the book that we're following this year. You don't need to buy anything. We're here every single day reading these messages, but I do love this book, and I'm very happy to have it in my library. This conversation, the description of this book says having the life you want by being present to the life you have. So we're talking about being present for our own lives. So because I've checked a lot of boxes off this morning, and I am energized to have this conversation with Sapphire Rose today, let's put this music on and give me a moment to soften and come into my own skin, and not so much out here coming in and touching base, maybe noticing my breath. So how do I do that? I check my sits bones. I get a balance in the body. I first feel grounded in my sits bones, make sure that I feel rooted where I'm at. Sometimes if my legs are folded cross-legged, but you can put your feet on the floor and feel grounded and allow yourself to feel that stableness, right? A lot of unsettling things going on in our world today. So feeling grounded, I think, is very important for us. So just feeling grounded, and then check the weight of the body. See if you can make any kind of little tweaks or adjustments to kind of distribute the weight equally or somewhat equally so you feel balanced and centered. Physical affects the mental, right? And mental affects the physical, the mind-body connection. So allow yourself to feel grounded and balanced physically. It's going to go a long way with just that practice. But let's start now softening. So we go to the head. This is how I do it anyway. I go to the head and I actually let the skin like slide down my skull. I feel the top of my head opening up a little bit, and I just let it all soften, like drop. So the creases and crinkles in my forehead start to release. I get to my cheeks, just under my eyes, and I feel this big ball of energy where I've been hanging on to facial expressions and smiles. And there's a lot of energy caught up in that cheek. So give that a minute to release. Come down my jaw. Let that jaw soften. I take my head from side to side, releasing a little bit of tension there. Shoulders, drop them away from my ears. Let them come back a little bit to open up that chest. And as soon as I do that, whole wave of breath, been yearning to take a deeper breath in my body. And it fills, I feel my rib cage expand. Let that breath out slowly. And just like that, I am here and not. Let my mind be with my body to enjoy being here. The Book of Awakening by Mark NEPO, New York Times best-selling book, described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. And the message we're offered today, this day number 2013, is titled The Pain of Becoming. The Pain of Becoming. For the flower, it is fully open at each step of its blossoming. Isn't that interesting in itself? For the flower, it is fully open at each step of its blossoming. We do ourselves a great disservice by judging where we are in comparison to some final destination. This is one of the pains of aspiring to become something. The stage of development we are in is always seen against the imagined landscape of what we are striving for. So where we are, though closer all the time, is never quite enough. The simple rose, at each moment of its slow blossoming, is as open as it can be. The same is true of our lives. In each stage of our unfolding, we are as stretched as possible. For the human heart is quite slow to blossom and is only seen as lacking when compared to the imagined lover or father or mother that we'd like to become. It helps to see ourselves as flowers. If a flower were to push itself to open faster, which it can't, it would tear. Yet we humans can and often do push ourselves. Often we tear in places no one can see. When we push ourselves to unfold faster or more deeply than is natural, we thwart ourselves. For nature takes time, and most of our problems of will stem from impatience. Before my experience with cancer, I was sorely driven as an artist. I pushed myself greatly. I think the creative impulse was deep and irrepressible in me, and ultimately healthy. But it was my secret need to achieve some sort of greatness that made me press until something began to rip. It was the unending, relentless push to measure up, and quickly, against some imagined form of myself that made the flower of my mind tear. I do not believe that people bring cancer on themselves, but I do believe that wherever we weaken ourselves, that part will give way to illness first. It was not by accident that the cancer struck the creative side of my brain. Perhaps one of the hardest remedies to accept for our pain, perhaps one of the hardest remedies to accept for our pain of becoming is that wherever we are in our path, no matter how flawed or incomplete, is a blossoming unto itself. However much we've done at the end of the day is more than enough. It is dream becoming true. So much richness in these messages. I think the more I talk, the more I cloudy the message sometimes. For the flower, it is fully open at each step of its blossoming. The meditative exercise offered to us today asks us to close our eyes. So do that if you can, comfortably and safely. Close your eyes and meditate on a simple yellow rose that is budding. Breathe fully And do not wait for the rose to fully open to see its beauty. Rather, focus on the yellow petals about to open. See their beauty now. Breathe deeply. And look upon yourself as such a rose. Do not wait for some imagined end to see your own beauty. See it now. So breathe deeply in and look upon yourself as such a rose. Do not wait for some imagined end to see your own beauty. Rather, inhale and appreciate the beauty of yourself about to open. Oh, Thank you again for being here, for sharing in this incredible conversation this year. Reminder, please visit zenfulconversations.com and sign up for something going on in gratitude. Namaste. See you tomorrow. Thank you.